Okay, this is a rhetorical synthesis, or what I call a best accomplishes goal problem. The student wants to study an audience, to present a study to an audience already familiar with environmental DNA. So we don't want them to explain or define eDNA in the answers. That's usually up at the beginning. Organisms release cellular material in the environment by shedding substances such as hair or skin. The DNA in these substances is known as environmental or eDNA. We don't really want those definitions in our answer, correct answer. But we do want to present the study. So the eDNA is used to detect species that are difficult to observe, and such team analyzes eDNA in Florida in the Everglades to detect invasive constrictor snake species, and they found, sure enough, the Burmese python was there. So we want to talk about her study that she searched for and found pythons in the Everglades, but not the definition of eDNA. So such researchers analyzed eDNA water samples from the Florida Everglades for evidence of invasive constrictor snakes, which are difficult to observe. Yeah, that's the study. And they're just saying they analyzed eDNA. We're not defining it. This actually looks good. Let's check B, C, and D. An analysis of eDNA can detect the presence of invasive species that are difficult. This is explaining what eDNA does. That's bad. Our audience should be familiar with it. Researchers found python eDNA or environmental DNA in water samples. eDNA is DNA. Again, they're telling us what eDNA is. That is not necessary for people familiar with it. Such researchers analyzed environmental DNA. That is restating DNA. Again, they're telling us what eDNA is. We don't need that. A is the answer. Okay, this is a rhetorical synthesis question. Got all my bullet points. The student wants to describe the rocking chair to an audience unfamiliar with Sam Maloof. So if the audience is unfamiliar with him, we need to include the basic information about him, which is probably in the first bullet points. Sam Maloof was an American woodworker and furniture designer. He was the son of Lebanese immigrants. So we probably want to say something about that. He received a Genius Grant from the MacArthur Foundation. This is all background information on Sam Maloof. So if you don't know who he is, the audience is unfamiliar, we want to tell them that in the answer, okay? And by the way, we need to describe the rocking chair. So in Museum of Fine Arts, he owns a rocking chair that he made from wood. The armrest and the seat of the chair are sleek and contoured. The back, so we want to describe that chair, something. So with its sleek and contoured armrest and seat, the walnut rocking chair in Boston Museum of Fine Arts, that's describing the chair, is just one piece of furniture created by American woodworker Sam Maloof. So he's an American woodworker. Doesn't say anything about the Lebanese part, doesn't say anything about a Genius Grant, but that does tell us something about him. This is definitely a possibility. I'm going to hold this for a second. Let's look at B, C, and D. Sam Maloof was born in 1916 and died in 2009. Okay, I'm not sure we really need all that details. And during his life, he made a chair that you can see if you visit the Museum of Fine Arts. Well, no, that really doesn't say anything about him being a woodworker or an immigrant or winning awards. I think A is better. It's describing the chair, and it's, by the way, telling you a little something about him. This is focused on who he is with very little about the chair. B is not right. Furniture designer Sam Maloof was a recipient of the... Okay, this is telling us a bit about... Well, that's it. It's just telling him he won the award, which is that third bullet point. And nothing else. It does not even include a description of the chair. That cannot be right. The rocking chair is made from walnut. What rocking chair? Okay. I mean, the rocking chair, we don't know what rocking chair. A rocking chair. Okay. So I guess it does say the walnut rocking chair up here is made from walnut, and it has been shaped such that armrests. Okay, that says nothing about Sam Malone. So there's no Maloof. Maloof is his name. There's no Maloof in that one. That's not right. A is going to be the right answer. It describes the chair and gives us some background about Maloof. Rhetorical synthesis. The student wants. Let's accomplish the goal of what the student wants. He wants to present a study and its findings. Okay, so we have a study. The findings are usually at the end of the bullet points, which most effectively use relevant information from the notes to accomplish its goal. Okay, so what's the study? Species belonging to the orchid family, can be found in both tropical and temperate environments. Orchidaceae species diversity has not been well studied in temperate forests, such as Oaxaca, Mexico. Arely Munoz Hernandez led a study to determine how many different Orchidaceae species are present in the forests of Oaxaca. So we have this study. All right, we want to introduce this study in Oaxaca. And Munoz Hernandez and her team collected orchids each month for a year at a site in Oaxaca. That's the method. Okay. And that's the study intro or background. And we want to present its findings. 74 Orchidaceae species were present at the site. Okay, that's kind of the findings, right? That's what they found. So we want to show that there were 74 at the site, and she's studying these orchids in Oaxaca. So a study led Munoz Hernandez identified a total of 75 orchid species at the temperate forests of Oaxaca. That's it. She's the one who did the study. That's what she found. And it was in temperate forests in Oaxaca. That's basically all we need, the study and its findings. We'll check B, C, and D, but A is going to be the answer. There are orchids in many environments. That says nothing about the study in Oaxaca, but there are 74 in Oaxaca. That's not really introducing the study. Introducing the study is telling us who did it and what they identified and the fact that it's in temperate forests, because that's what was not well studied, which is why we studied that. This says nothing about that, so that's not right. Oaxaca, Mexico is home to temperate forests containing 75. Okay, that's great. That's an interesting fact, but it says nothing about the study. It's wrong. Munoz Hernandez and her team wanted to know how many different orchid species are present in the forests of Oaxaca, Mexico, so they conducted a study. Yes, that's what they wanted to do. That is not the findings. That's not there. A is the correct answer. Okay, another rhetorical synthesis question. The student wants to explain an advantage of the new platinum catalyst developed by Jianbo Tang and his colleagues. So we want to explain the advantages of this catalyst. Okay, so platinum is a rare and expensive metal. It is used as a catalyst for chemical reactions. Platinum catalysts typically require a large amount of platinum to be effective. So they need a lot of it. That's the problem. We've got a problem statement, a lot needed. Researcher Tang and his colleagues created a platinum catalyst that combines platinum with liquid gallium. So we've got this new catalyst. Their catalyst was highly effective and required only traces of platinum. So not a lot needed for the platinum. So the advantage of that is that it was highly effective and did not need a lot of platinum. So Tang and his colleagues created a platinum catalyst that combines platinum and a rare and expensive metal with liquid gallium. Okay, possible. Let's keep going. Like other platinum catalysts, that's not going to tell us the advantages. The new platinum catalyst requires a particular amount. No, it requires very little, not a lot, which was the problem, apparently, with the previous catalyst. Platinum is a rare and expensive metal that is used as a catalyst for chemical reactions. However, platinum catalysts typically require a large amount of platinum to be effective. That is the problem, right? But does that explain the advantage of the new catalyst? No. While still highly effective, the new platinum catalyst requires far less of the rare and expensive metal than do other platinum catalysts. That's it. That's the benefit. That's the advantage. Okay. This doesn't really give an advantage, A. D definitely highlights the advantage. That's the correct answer. So another rhetorical synthesis question. The student wants to describe the distinctive, unique style of Hauser's sculptures. Okay. So what's unique about the sculptures? Well, bullet point tells us that Hauser was a Warm Springs Apache sculptor, illustrator, and painter. And so that tells us about him. That's his background. Many of his sources featured Native American figures. Okay. So not sure anything here is unique. He depicted this subject matter using abstract modernist forms, developing a distinctive style. This is his style that's distinctive, that influenced many other artists. So his abstract modernist forms, that's what was unique. Okay. And then he had a well-known sculpture. So we don't really care about that for answering the question. So a sculptor, illustrator, and painter, Hauser developed a distinctive style for portraying Native American. So is that describing? That's just saying he did develop a distinctive style. There's no description there, right? We have to describe it. I don't think this is going to be right. Hauser's sculptures employ abstract modernist forms, which is what made him distinctive, to depict Native American figures. Yes, that describes his distinctive style. So I believe B is going to be the answer, but let's keep going. Many other artists have been influenced by this style. No, we don't care if he's popular or others have been influenced by him. That's not the idea here. The sculpture, Sacred Rain, was well known. Again, he had a famous or well-known sculpture. That is not the goal. The goal is to describe the distinctive style, which is it was abstract modernist, and that was his distinctive style.